So the reason that I prep my food the way that I do and build my meals the way that I build them is because I'm mostly following the starch solution protocol by Dr. John McDougall. I highly recommend this book if you are looking for not a diet, but a lifestyle that is satiating, promotes longevity, affordable, and delicious. So I don't have time to get into this whole, 300 some page book, but the gist of it is that the diet consists of primarily starch as the main form of calories and supplementing with non-starchy vegetables and fruit. But I don't eat any refined sugar. I don't eat oil. I don't eat animal products. So it's really just fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes. And right now I'm following his maximum weight loss program, which a lot of people call this the 50-50 plate, but technically it's actually like 45%, 45%. But this 50-50 concept is essentially that half of your plate is starch, half of your plate is non-starchy vegetable, and then maybe you can have a little bit of fruit with that. And you can change those ratios depending on how much weight you want to lose, or if maybe you're in maintenance, you can have a higher proportion of starch to non-starchy vegetables, which you'll see when you see my food prep, I'm not following this perfectly because my breakfast right now, I'm not having vegetables with that. It really is just starch and fruit. But that may change in time. So essentially my meals are consisting of, for the most part, 50% starch based and then 50% non-starchy vegetable. For me, I really like to eat potatoes as my main starch because they're extremely filling, very satiating, and very healthy. And you can have a lot of volume for less calories. But I also eat all kinds of other things. So like my breakfast is usually oats, and I like to eat a lot of rice. I like quinoa. I eat beans and tofu and tempeh every single day. So yeah, that just gives you a little bit of background. Definitely pick up this book and give it a read if you haven't. So while that's in the microwave, I'm just gonna prep my oats for tomorrow. My Tupperware measuring device, oats, these are just organic, I think this is Lidl brand. Pop it in. Pop in some chia seeds. I don't even measure them. Honestly, I'm just trying to use these up. They've been in my pantry for a while. This is actually pumpkin pie spice. Hey, buddy. You looking at yourself in the mirror? What do you see? A handsome boy. Now water, and I use filtered water from our Berkey. So that's 1.5. Then I refill the Berkey. Then grab the frozen fruit. And usually I would use fresh bananas, but I have a bunch of bananas that just are still not ripe yet. So luckily I have this frozen stash, but I've really been dipping into it. I'm gonna need to get more, or prepare more frozen bananas. This is antioxidant fruit blend from Whole Foods. And there's only a tiny bit left, so I'll just put the rest in. This has cherry, strawberries, blueberries, and pomegranate seeds. And then my bag of frozen banana that's almost out. I'll do like one big banana plus I did a little extra. Just throw that in. Give it like a little bit of a stir. And that was the microwave that just ended. That was 3 minutes that it took me to prep this. Pop it in the fridge, and then it's ready to go for tomorrow. And these are how I do my potatoes. Ugh, I don't know if I can do that with one hand. I just put them in the Instant Pot. I did that last night, and I'm probably gonna just eat one of these real quick because the oatmeal is not enough. I'm so hungry. Throw them in here, and then I throw them in the fridge. And then when I eat this, I always prep my veggies for tomorrow's bowl. And so I have my bowl ready, and I just grab the bag from the freezer. So this is what it is, a California style broccoli, cauliflower, carrots. And then pour that in. Very, very fancy here, as you can see. I usually kind of mix it around and get it a little higher up on the sides so that it cooks a little bit more evenly. And then put it in the microwave for, I've found that 6.5 minutes is like the way I like it. And then that'll have plenty of time to cool and get ready to finish making that bowl for tomorrow. So these are the veggies from the microwave. I'm going to transfer them to this bowl, and I'm going to cut up these 2 potatoes and this tomato, and then add these. This is the tomato and potato thrown in there. And then for these, if you ever buy these, what I do, because I'm lazy, is I just cut a small piece off the corner, and then I just kind of drain them this way. Like, I make sure it's a small enough piece that the beans, it's hard to see, but the beans can't get through that hole, and I just squeeze off all the extra liquid. So they're still pretty wet. I don't like rinse them out and make sure they're fully rinsed and dry and stuff. They still have some bean juice on them. But yeah, I can't be bothered to get anything else dirty. And then I just throw in some spices. Lately I've been doing onion powder. I don't measure any of this. Garlic powder. I love cumin. And then I also love this everything bagel. Yeah, nice job. And then I usually just give this a big stir to kind of mix everything up. It'll go in the fridge overnight, and then tomorrow when it's lunchtime, I'll take it out of the fridge, pop it in the microwave, and while it's once it's done heating up, then I put in my bag of frozen veggies into the microwave and get ready to make the next bowl. So my method is basically, as I'm eating the meal, I start getting my meal ready for the next day, except dinner. Dinner I just do at dinner time. which maybe that's not the best method because the last couple nights I haven't even been able to eat dinner. But I like to do like a big salad for dinner, and I'll show that when I do it here. So in addition to my breakfast, lunch, and dinner, I usually put together 3 or 4 big Tupperware containers like this of veggies and some fruit to snack on. So this is pretty typical. I have cucumbers, baby carrots, some sliced bell pepper, apple slices, and there's celery down there. And sometimes I'll add little orange slices, just kind of whatever I have on hand. And I prep these in advance, throw them in the fridge so that I have some veggies and healthy things to snack on throughout the day. So I'll have like one of these a day, and I'll usually just have it just kind of throughout the day or whenever I'm hungry in between meals, things like that.